Welcome everybody to Every Rock Has a Story. It's great to see you with me again today. For today's story, I'm going to show you one of the roundest rocks that I have here. I've got a lot of rocks on the table, as I always do, but today's story is going to be about this one right in front of me, and I'm going to hold it up so we can take a look at this. It is round. Look at the shape of that rock. Sometimes the shape can give us a lot of clues as to the story that the rock will tell. Very, very round and smooth, maybe a little bit oval shape depending on how you look at it. And there's something else really cool about this rock. You can almost see it's got like a layer or a coating on the outside. See that darker coating around there, and then it's gone right here. Very smooth and round shape. And it's pretty heavy, as most rocks are. So to tell the story of this rock, we need to go back in time. We need to go back to the time of the dinosaurs. We need to go back 70 million years ago. Now, we've talked about the dinosaurs before. We've seen dinosaur footprints in episode 2 from that rock. In episode number 6, we talked about our chalk rock, which is from the Cretaceous period. That is exactly when this rock is from, 70 million years ago, right in the Cretaceous. And if you remember, this chalk rock told us that during the Cretaceous, 70 million years ago, the time of the dinosaurs, it was very hot and very wet and very comfortable for all those dinosaurs. We also talked about the dinosaurs in episode 20, and this rock is that giant meteor that crashed into Earth and wiped out the dinosaurs forever. But let's go back to 70 million years ago and talk about the story of this rock. We have to talk about a dinosaur called the Hadrosaur dinosaurs. Some people call hadrosaurs a duck-billed dinosaur because they kind of have a flat beak like a duck does today. So I want to talk about a family of hadrosaurs. Now, what do you think dinosaurs need to do if they want to have a family? Well, I'll tell you that story. These hadrosaurs got together and they lived in what is modern-day Mongolia. But back then it was warm and wet, and they decided to have a family, and they went down and found a nice place, a comfortable place, probably near the water in Mongolia. And they made a little nest, and when dinosaurs want to have a family, you know what they do? They lay eggs, just like birds or chickens lay eggs. If some of you have chickens at home, you know about how those chickens lay eggs. And in fact, birds and chickens descended from the dinosaurs. That's why they make families and babies the same way. So this family of hadrosaurs got together and they found their little nest and they laid a bunch of eggs in that nest. Now, the hadrosaurs, if they sat on those eggs, they would have crushed them because hadrosaur dinosaurs are 30 feet long and probably weigh a few tons. So instead of sitting on the eggs, they covered the eggs over with branches or leaves or grasses to keep them safe and warm. And then they waited and waited until one day, all those eggs hatched and the baby hadrosaurs came out and they had their new family and they left the nest and went about their way. Except there was one egg, one dinosaur egg that didn't hatch. And instead, it stayed in that nest and that got buried by sand and dirt and left there over time after the meteorite caused the end of the dinosaurs, until somebody found that very dinosaur egg today. This is a real dinosaur egg. I am holding a real dinosaur egg, the egg of a baby hadrosaur duck-billed dinosaur found in the Gobi Desert of China, Mongolia. That's where this is from. And I just think it's incredible to imagine the ancient times, those warm, wet times in the Cretaceous, where those hadrosaurs got together and had their family, and that we can actually find not just fossils of the dinosaurs, like their footprints, sometimes their bones, but actually the real egg of a dinosaur, ancient life or ancient birth preserved in this ancient dinosaur egg. So another great part of the story of this rock is the story of how I got it. Sometimes those stories are really interesting. I got this rock from someone named David, And David was an alum of Boston College. He used to go to Boston College many, many years ago. And it kind of reminds me of this idea of family that we've talked about, the dinosaur family that laid this dinosaur egg. In this case, it was David who came back to our Boston College family. I met him last year, and he gave this rock as a gift to me and to our department. It's interesting and fun to think of the ways in which rocks, exciting rocks, or even more simple rocks can connect us together. In this case, it kind of connected me to my Boston College academic family. David, who went to BC years ago, and me today, sharing the story of this rock with you. And now let's kick this rock over to Mateo, who's going to share his own story from the time of the dinosaurs.
Hi, my name is Matteo Magdolf, and this is the rock for the day. And I found it in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And it's about 200 million years old, and here's the place where I found it. The rocks were even bigger than this where I found it. I told you that this was 200 million years old, so the dinosaur time, that's why I put the dinosaurs on my Pangea map. Pangea is a supercontinent. And here's a good example of the rift. There's those rocks, and then this is how it became the Atlantic Ocean. This. And here's my sister Bea. And she's holding, and here's a good example of what looks like Earth today. Bye.
Thank you, Mateo and Bea, for showing us that incredible story of these ancient rocks from the time of the dinosaurs, the map of Pangea, the way the continents used to be assembled and how they split apart, forming you a rock in that rift and showing the map the way we see it today. I hope you enjoyed Mateo's story. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Every Rock Has a Story, and I want to see you at our next episode soon. Bye-bye.